Sometimes I wonder that in growing up, I have to leave what I have my passion for in order for me to live a more realistic life. Stop dreaming. But is that really even considered living? What kind of life is there to be offered when you've given up everything that made you alive? What life is there that awaits in the void that rips apart and takes away the dreams and aspirations of a person to just live? A never-ending cycle of survival? A never-ending cycle of swimming with the rats in the sewers just to only meet the inevitable end of the tunnel? In my understanding of Albert Camus' philosophy on the myth of Sisyphus, human struggle is the defining definition of why humans keep living their lives. Most people do it because of the supposed light at the end of the tunnel, the promise that if they sacrifice enough of themselves, they'll eventually receive what they want. But Camus rejects the philosophy that life is ever like that. He says that life is devoid of meaning itself, and that the reason why people struggle over and over again, only to be greeted with the same predictable consequence of doing so, is because people find some meaning in the suffering of it all. People find meaning not through the goal of eventually rolling that boulder to the top of the mountain, but through the act of suffering and persisting and rebelling how much that boulder rolls down. For me, finding meaning in suffering is, well, madness. It's insanity. But then again, the whole world is mad. People striving for things that cost a lifetime for them to earn, but only giving them happiness for a few months once they get it. People immortalizing figures in memory that is fragile and dishonest and prone to lie and fail. Trying to make timeless memories that'll eventually be forgotten through the passage of time. Trying to soar higher and higher to the heavenly bodies, even if in a lifetime we'll never get to see the edge of the universe, and the cosmos will shift for only an inch or none at all for the effort we put in a lifetime of our living. To live is to be mad, and if you look at it like that, then maybe life really isn't that complicated. Maybe there's no grand scheme or grand light at the end of the tunnel. It's just you and the never-ending planets and stars that you revolve around and wouldn't feel anything for a second if you disappeared. The cosmos will remain indifferent to your existence. So if living is madness, then is looking death in the eyes and saying that it's the most logical decision to be made is clarity? If death is inevitably coming for us all, then why live a life that is deemed important by other people? Why try to live a life up to a standard that will vanish in a few centuries? For even if the world fades, the stars will keep shining, the moons will keep circling their respective planets, and another will be reborn in spite of the original being gone. If keeping on living is choosing to keep participating with the madness, then what's so bad about living a life that's considered insane by other people? Why should I give up the things keeping me insane enough for me to keep living in this mad, mad world? To give up the things that keeps me dreaming inside a world that I'll eventually wake up from like everyone else?